Back at it again, and we've got to talk about the pushback that's going on against the WEF. I mean, I like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you're new, and we just gonna jump right on into it. Let's dive in.
It's laughable that you would, or anyone would, describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. It's equally,
standing up for it.
It's equally laughable to use the word dictatorship at Davos and aim that at President Trump. In fact, I think that's absurd. But I'm going to step aside from that constructive criticism and instead answer your question.
Yep.
And I'm going to be substantive here. President Trump, if he's the next president, for that matter, I think whoever the next conservative president, is going to take on the power of the elites, which I mentioned earlier. But the thing that I want to drive home here, the very reason that I'm here at Davos, is to explain to many people in this room and who are watching, with all due respect, nothing personal, but that you're part of the problem. Political elites tell the average people on 3 or 4 or 5 issues that the reality is X, when in fact reality is Y. Take immigration. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. They're right. President Trump will take that on behalf of the average American. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. Just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas. The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. President Trump will take that on. Thirdly, I guess the favorite at the World Economic Forum is climate change. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change, so much so that climate alarmism is probably the greatest cause for mental health crisis in the world. The solutions, the average person know, based on climate change are far worse and more harmful and cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. Fourth, 2 more here, Robin. Okay. The fourth, China. The number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. Count on President Trump ending that nonsense. And do you know why? Not because of retribution, not because he's a dictator, but because he has the power of the American people behind him. And it's connected to Senator Portman's excellent point that in addition to needing a vigorous executive, we look forward to having the popular will inform both the House and Senate in 2025 to pass laws on all of those issues and many others. Ultimately, Robin, I think President Trump, if in fact he wins a second term, is going to be inspired by the wise words of Javier Milei, who said that he was in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken lions. That's what the average American and the average free person on planet Earth wants out of leaders.
I love that quote. And I'm in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken the lions. Oh, let me make sure I heard that correctly.
Awaken lions. That is going to be inspired by the wise words of Javier Milei, who said that he was in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken lions.
Yeah, love that quote. Love that quote. Incredible stuff right there. But that's not the only time that the people of Davos were called out to their face. You guys ever heard of anything called the WHO? I'm joking. Of course you have. I'm being sarcastic here for those that didn't know. I'm joking, obviously. Well, check out this clip.
Sorry. Don't push me. Dr. Tedros, this is your chance to apologize to the world for your role during COVID. Would you like to take it? Hi, Dr. Tedros. Can I ask you, Dr. Tedros, how you doing? Do you think you did well in COVID, and if you're going to do as well in disease X? Mr. Tedros, how you doing? How do you feel you went in COVID?
We're rushing to a meeting.
Oh, we can
Maybe
walk-
later on.
We'd love to walk with you to the meeting. What's the meeting about? Is it about disease X
It's a meeting with UAE.
with the UAE? Okay.
Dr. Adnan, do you believe that lockdown should always be rejected as a public health measure?
Can we talk later?
What time? I'm happy to arrange a meeting with you, sir. Do you believe lockdown should be rejected as a public health measure?
What is disease X? Mr. Tedros, what is disease X? And when is China going to release it?
Mandates and lockdowns as a public health intervention.
Do you think the man? Yeah.
The World Health Organization wants actually, during the coronavirus pandemic,
How you doing? I would love to talk to you, doctor. Do you apologize for what you did during COVID? And should people have to go through disease X with you now that you say it's 10 times worse?
Sir, it's a simple question. Do you condemn public health interventions like lockdowns and vaccine mandates?
the slogans for the WEF agenda.
Are you going to apologize for getting everything wrong from mask mandates to vaccine mandates?
China should be held accountable for its role in COVID.
Notice how these folks never really want to sit down and actually answer questions. You guys ever notice that? This includes Democrats as well. Whenever they're called out, oh no, we're not answering any questions. Nope. We're going to speed walk away. We're going to run and hide. Interesting. Same tactic. Now, also, John Kerry was called out to his face too.
What's the carbon footprint of these events every single year that you come here? You think it's worth it? Peasants pay for your crimes?
That's a stupid question.
Is it really? Is it more stupid than you traveling here to tell us? Please, sorry?
We're done. We are done now.
Don't grab me. You can't grab us. This is a free society, mate. We have freedom of the press. Why do you think you're more important? Your carbon footprint doesn't matter, but everybody else around the world.
Suggested that. Nobody ever suggested that. Don't make up stupid questions.
Being here suggests that.
A stupid question.
You being here every single year and doing this suggests that.
And I have done a huge amount.
Listen, now
submission.
it's finished. Please.
Why can't I ask him questions? Who are you? Why are you trying to bully me out of us?
No, so please.
That doesn't. A lot of people say no to a lot of the policies and agendas he pushes. They don't get a choice. So why can't we ask him a question in a public space? Can you not touch me? Can you not touch me? No, I'm happy.
Wait.
So answer. We can walk
I
nicely.
answered your question.
What did you answer?
Please respect Thank you the so no.
I don't even know what you're at.
I don't know. Sir.
Listen, that's all right. We're walking to the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
You're a bunch of. Why are you working so hard to protect such a criminal? That's right, criminals. Why are you protecting criminals? There you go.
Interesting. You know, and this is my thing, right? Like, I would have no issues if all of these folks, Democrats included, and these elites and guys that and gals that go to Davos and WEF, I would have no problem if they would stop and answer some simple questions. Answer the questions. Give us the answers or answer the questions that we're asking you, and I wouldn't have any issues with these folks, maybe, right? If you could just explain this stuff. Don't explain it when you're sitting down with a teleprompter in front of you. You've been coached on exactly what to say. No, I want to know that you know exactly what's going on and what's happening and what you're trying to push. I want to know that you know exactly what it is, not a teleprompter. Not your assistant that, read and sat down in these meetings with these folks and you guys all put it together. No. I want to hear from you, right? And I'm sure a lot of us will say, okay, cool. Like, if they could actually sit down and explain to us all, right, how this is better than that or why we should actually go electric, like just stop right there on the street. If I walk up to you and ask you a question, hey, why do you think electric cars are actually better? Well, what about how they're actually put together? You know, what about the battery process? You know, if they sat down and was like, yeah, we're looking to move that and this, and these are the steps that we're taking in order to do that. This is how we're doing it. This is who's in charge of that. But I'm here to answer any more questions you have. Like if they were just open and honest about the entire thing, the fact that they're secretive about it lets me know everything I need to know. Right? And of course, there's going to be some folks who are going to say, well, actually, they do explain it. Yeah, they explain it with a teleprompter in front of their face that they can read off of. I don't want to know what the teleprompter says. I could easily read that. Like that doesn't tell me anything. That doesn't tell me that you actually know what you're actually pushing. That tells me the complete opposite. You don't know anything. You're just pushing it. Right? Can anybody tell me when the last time any one of these folks actually stopped on the street, right? Or it doesn't even necessarily have to be the street, but just stopped somewhere, anywhere, that wasn't like an official meeting setting, right? Where they could possibly have a teleprompter and had a meeting right before in order to go over the talking points, right? Can anybody tell me when there was a time when one of these folks just stopped and just answered the questions that people were asking? Can anybody tell me? And after you get to that answer, because that answer is basically never, now we have to ask why. Why don't they want to just be open and honest about everything? Why do they have to be sitting in an official meeting room, or meeting location or place with a teleprompter and possibly a teleprompter or possibly having a meeting before to go over all the talking points? Why do they have to have all of that? I'm just asking. I'll go back to my peasant living. Okay, I'll get back in my place. Sorry, I'm getting out of place here. Let me get back in line, as the overlords say. Let me get back in line. Okay, I'm stepping out of line here. But no, all seriousness, why? Can anybody tell me in the comment section? And does anybody feel the same way that I feel, right? Like if they could just sit out on the street and just answer open and honestly the questions that people are asking, I might be inclined to believe them a little bit more. Does anybody else feel that way? I might be inclined. Maybe. Right? Like, at least, maybe not so much now, because I feel like that ship has sailed, like any belief, right, at this point. But at least, like, when I first, got into this and I first started hearing about the WEF and Davos and these elites and all this other stuff, like, if they would have just came out and just answered the questions instead of this whole, I'm just going to walk fast and run away type of deal every time they're asked any type of tough questions, or they have their security, get the reporter out of the way anytime they're ever asked some tough questions. Because there was a recent incident in Canada where Justin Trudeau's one of his cabinet members, I believe it was a cabinet member or somebody that works in Justin Trudeau's government, or works with Justin Trudeau in the government, right, that's on his side of things, was spotted out in public, and a reporter came up and tried to ask some tough questions, and some police officers, I guess, from Canada, came up and arrested him basically and got him out of there. And it's just like, why do you guys want to hide so much? Why not just stop and answer the questions? Anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.